2024 Manhattan Beach Open. Day one is a Friday as we fade into afternoon in the final women's match on Stadium Court. How about we go gold for this one? Cameron Irwin, Kevin Barnett, excited to see the A-team, the Olympic champions from one Olympics ago, out on Stadium Court. They're going to face off with Piper Ferch and Lindsey Sparks, who you saw earlier today if you were with us, who had an outstanding turn. And this is a Contenders bracket matchup, so it's win or go home. Kevin Barnett, Cameron Irwin. Contenders always tough, so much on the line. Our first look at the A-team, who had a tough one in their first round.
They did, but if anyone can recover, it's going to be the A-team. Two absolute professionals when it comes to the sport of beach volleyball, and especially in their mindset. They are in a different place in their life, so it's so amazing to see them here in Manhattan Beach. Both of them new moms as of this past year, and they have a total different approach to their game. I think now it's really about the joy and just finding different and unique ways to approach this game. But I'm really excited to see the opposite side of the court, only because witnessing what that duo did in their first matchup of the day, taking down the 6th seed in DeBerg and Harward, was phenomenal. This duo out of Cal Poly was so fun to watch in terms of the tempo offense they run and their ability to really put together a defensive performance up at the net, but also in the backcourt, which, by the way, this is going to have to be a way different defensive matchup because you got Alix Klineman coming your way.
They're coming off a loss to Hildreth and Van Gunst, so they will now face off in this elimination match. Let's give it to Mark Sherman and get our final women's match of the day started.
Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. It is time to send one team to Saturday, and it's time to send one team home. And nobody wants to go home, do they? Oh, absolutely not, especially these two players out of Cal Poly, ladies and gentlemen. Let's meet them back on Stadium Court. And this first player from Redmond, Washington, out of the beautiful Pacific Northwest, comes from a very athletic family, everybody, and now continuing that tradition here on the AVP. Let me hear it for Piper Ferch. And her partner out of Cal Poly. Go Mustangs. That's right. And ladies and gentlemen, by the way, listen, we're in LA. Her one goal is to be on Survivor. So if there are any casting directors out here, any recruits, Survivor, this young lady, yes, ladies and gentlemen, let me hear it for Lindsey Sparks. You never know, Lindsey. And their opponents, oh my goodness, yes, ladies and gentlemen, this first player out of Manhattan Beach, California, and Stanford University. She is a two-time Manhattan Beach Open winner. She is an Olympic gold medalist. Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear it for Alix Klineman. And her partner out of the University of Southern California. Last year, she coached a team to the MBO win. She's got 4 MBO titles herself. She is an Olympic bronze, silver, and gold medalist. She is the one, the only, April Ross.
A battle of generations. Klineman and Ross, starring in the NCAA long before women's beach volleyball was a thing. Piper Ferch and Lindsey Sparks been starring recently, and now, if you're Piper Ferch, for Cal Poly. It's always kind of a remarkable thing. You come up through a system, you have your idols in the game, you have the people that you watch, that you viewed as the goal, and then you find yourself across the net from them.
What an incredible experience, but I can guarantee these two are not going to back down. The 27 seed is ready to go, but that's a big task to have to face one of the best servers in the world year in and year out. That is April, the boss, Ross.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how they settle in. Sparks with a missed pass there. So Piper Ferch on the left. Lindsey Sparks on the right. She was a target last time we saw her. April Ross at the line. Team momming so hard on the right-hand side of your screen.
Mom so hard. I like it. Otherwise known as the A-team.
The A-team, yes. Saw them at the Delgados on Tuesday. Out there with the families, having tacos and enjoying another beautiful afternoon as we are now here on a Friday in Southern California. Kevin Barnett alongside Cameron Irwin. Hope you can join us this weekend in person for Stadium Court as well as the outer court action. There is no tournament where the outer court action is better than this one. Fields of 32 on the men's and women's sides. If you can't be with us in person, stay with us on Bally Live as well as Ion for the final.
That is quite the contact on the second set there from Piper Ferch. A little bit of a hold there, not called, but came out clean. Something to watch for.
Is that what you were concerned about there, Cam?
It was close.
All right, 3-1, Klineman Ross.
Her contact point starts pretty low, but it'll be important to watch just how long that lingers in her hands.
Alix, tough server from that high point, right down the middle. Poked over and out, set up by the serve of Alix Klineman, the one-time Stanford star, longtime professional player indoors on the national team as well as overseas. And then we watched her make that graceful transition to the beach game alongside April Ross. Back in 2018, that ball is wide, rising all the way to the gold medal performance in Tokyo in 2021. 4-2, set one. Final women's match today on Stadium, but if you're in person, there's a lot more action happening out on the outer courts. April Ross going knuckles deep, not quite. Sparks, right side.
I like that set from Ferch.
Second shot from April Ross is good, as well as the hug.
Right now, Ferch and Sparks need to be able to kind of solidify up their first and second contacts. One of the things that really propelled them to victory in their first matchup was just the amount of control they had with their first and second. Allowed them to run their tempo offense and really challenge the defense from the block and down defender standpoint. Right now, they have yet to get in system. Let's see if they can find it here.
Well, you make a good point. They're going to have to get out from in front of the big block of Alix Klineman.
There's that quick shot.
And it works.
And we saw Kylie DeBerg late start to kind of pull off the net. Kind of some of those shorter delayed pulls, just about 1.5 to 2 feet off the net. Was able to pick up some of those shots from Lindsey Sparks. I have a feeling, though, Alix Klineman, she's just going to stay up there and delay that block.
Yeah, Sparks and Ferch already took out the number 6 seed. Now would be DeBerg and Harward. Another couple good touches. There's that control you're talking about. And then aggression pays off as it's blasted through the cable by Ferch.
How about both blockers picking up some really nice digs, pulling off the net? Both Klineman as well as Ferch picked up one in that rally alone.
Well, we saw, how many times did we see in 2018 and 19 Alix Klineman working on that exact skill, the pull.
Yeah, and she doesn't have to do it as often. Being a 6'5" blocker, she has the luxury of being able to kind of stay up the net a bit longer and swap block.
Well, Jen Kessie was a big part of that. Speaking of swap blocking.
I mean, that's how Piper Ferch picked up block after block in their first matchup. Just a long delay into the angle, jump into her right side.
Jump serve coming right into the tape.
And again, if you're watching Ferch and Sparks for the very first time, really cool story as Lindsey Sparks suffered a significant knee injury that took her over 2 years to rehab. She spent lots of time at UCLA and then moved on after that knee injury to Cal Poly. It sure is fun to see her here. And there's the block I'm talking about for Alix Klineman. She is just going to hang out, delay, delay, delay. And swap block, excuse me, shot block there.
Shot block, swap block.
Same thing.
I like that. Call the police. It's a swap block. Hot pocket.
Yeah, and I love it. The option play there. Nice pass, about 5 feet off the net. Gave plenty of opportunity for Piper Ferch to get after it.
Well, and getting out from in front of Alix Klineman, who's charging to the net. No chance. Service Seems like they're going to have to find the early balance between service pressure and service error.
Yeah, and to their credit, the errors have come all the way past the opposing service line. They look like they're trying to attack the depth of the court, trying to back up both Alix and April and force them to have to use the entirety of the court.
Well, Alix and April have been very open about their journeys to return to form after motherhood, after giving birth, and you might want to make them run. Going to that corner on Sparks once again, nearly as effective. Alix smoothly on 2.
I like the adjective there. Very smooth on that second ball. They continue to serve Lindsey Sparks that right sideline. They have not been able to get themselves in system from that point. But there's that smooth attack from Alix Klineman. Just nice footwork, keeping that ball on her right shoulder.
That ball right middle.
And that's what I was hoping to see from Lindsey Sparks. She gets blocked off of her shot and picked up a time or two on some of those short little pokes. This time she goes full send. You got to be able to have all the weapons, and Lindsey Sparks displaying them right now.
There's just no stopping that.
There's no way.
That's a Predator kind of swing. There's no stopping what can't be stopped. There's no killing what can't be killed.
5'10" versus 6'5".
It's like you versus me. You're not getting that ball either.
Except for I usually win.
Nah, 0% chance. Unless there's a shark costume involved.
It's a nice swing, just a little bit of a late left-right step on those closing steps of her approach. Almost moving a bit more into the interior. Caused a bit of a mix-up on the alignment for Klineman.
That ball will find the sand efficiently, and it's a good start for the A team here. They continue to lead in set number 1. Approaching the technical timeout.
Yeah, if I'm Alix Klineman, I'm just going to continue to look over the top of the block right now of Piper Ferch. Big differential there in size.
Jump serve been going angle. Right down the middle. Nearly an ace. Easy free ball. Middle set, and that'll be another point for the A team.
Kevin, what's one of the easiest ways to make your life that much more simple on the beach volleyball court?
Serve tough.
Serve tough, and the A team is doing it right now. I talked about having served that right sideline of Lindsey Sparks time and time again. April Ross, one of the best in the business, knows exactly where Lindsey Sparks is going to start to trend. She's pushing and forcing her there. That last ball right through the middle. It's a little off kilter right now on the side of Ferch and Sparks from the first pass.
Well, maybe some good savvy here. Go for an excellent deep clean of your glasses to waste a little bit of time. Leave April Ross back there trying to get into her routine, spinning the ball, pacing like a tiger, ready to serve.
She had the eye of the tiger when she was sitting in the box before she was announced.
Oh, yeah.
I liked it.
Roll in, Sparks ready. That ball blasted wide. Was there a touch? There was not. And so the technical timeout will be at 13-8 with the A team trying to stave off elimination here on day 1. They have a long journey ahead of them in the Contenders bracket. It is win to stay in here on Friday afternoon.
Loser of this match will get 17th place. Winner will play tomorrow morning. In the 3rd round of the Contenders bracket, this is a 32-team draw, 32 women's, 32 men's. We've already eliminated 8 teams for both genders. Here in our gooder match of the day.
A look at who's won this tournament for its 2021, that golden year for Alix Klineman and April Ross. They were in the battle in 2019 as well. Sarah Hughes and Kelly Kalinsky with the victory 2 seasons ago. Betsy Flint and Julia Scholes defeating not only everyone in the field, but also a hurricane to come out with the win. It's not often you can conquer a force of nature as well as your opponent on the sand.
Yeah, and can't forget who was in the box for Betsy Flint and Julia Scholes. Coaching them was none other than April Ross. She got a chance to go to the ceremony yesterday and award them their new plaque.
It was an interesting weather year last year. Of course, Wilson here went out for a little trip in Louisiana. He started in Louisiana and about 1,000 feet over Mississippi. Cast off towards Arkansas, as I recall.
I believe that is correct.
Later found in a ditch outside Little Rock. Out of the technical timeout, 13-8. Klineman and Ross efficient thus far. Now it's jump float from this side. Still working on Sparks. A little bit off kilter. Nice left hand from Alix Klineman. Does that ball come over? Yes, it does, and the block is good.
Play by Ferch and Sparks. Now, did they get that ball over?
An all-out war in that rally. The full layout from April Ross, and then the play of Piper Ferch on this next one is amazing. She picks up the dig right there. How about that ball somehow puts the right spin on it and finds a step of her own.
By Ferch and Sparks.
A little bit of a short bump set dug up. Oh, and Pokes, you do not put the ball on top of the cable with this woman on patrol.
I was gonna say, Alix Klineman looked like she was just patrolling the net, ready to pounce.
How many police references can we get in relationship to Alix Klineman? That is 2. We've had the SWAT team, and now she's on patrol.
10-4.
Did that fit somewhere, or it just popped to mind? We need some communication between players quickly. then you throw in the 10-4.
Roger.
There you go. Overpass generated. Klineman to the net. That one cannot be converted by Alix and April. Count the point on the other side. Piper Ferch with another heater. She's really demonstrated a nice bit of attacking in both matches we've seen her today.
Bit of differential in terms of efficiency right now between these two teams. 438 for the A team, 235 for Ferch and Sparks.
Sparks been seeing a lot of serves. She gets another. Instead, it's Ferch taking a cut, and that one will be just long. One of the rare misses for the ABC All-American and All-Big West performer. 16-11. Elimination matchup here on Friday featuring the A team. Kevin Barnett alongside Cameron Irwin. Day 1 of 3. That one was a little bit low on the thumbs. Detonation by Ferch.
I'm telling you, Piper Ferch, her last 2 steps are just incredibly explosive. It seems as if she really doesn't have that much of an approach in transition, but she is fearless, throws those feet into the ground, and shows up with a big swing.
Look at the differentiation and experience here. Ferch and Sparks, of course, not out of school, and just out of school, no AVP tournament victories. 53 tournament wins. That's pretty nice.
That's it there for the ace.
Of course, you can't forget Ferch and Sparks do pick up a win, though, in that first round of play against the 6th seed.
Yeah, that was a good one. DeBerg and Harward put into the contenders bracket. Just past the block. There's a winner for April Ross.
17-13.
I don't think you can ever get tired of watching April Ross side out, or Alix Klineman for that matter.
Now, there was a long stretch of time where April Ross was the best beach volleyball player on the planet. A few years leading into Rio, peak April Ross, which is wild to think about when you look at her winning the gold medal 5 years later.
I think it was a really cool experience, too, to win gold when you have kind of mentored and brought along Alix Klineman. There was so much conversation to that lead up to Tokyo, right, in terms of them building her from the indoor side of the game to the beach side, and her really taking ownership of her own game as she continued through and got closer and closer to Tokyo. But April Ross was a huge part of her education process in the world of beach.
All right, well, let's talk about Ferch here, because she's not only swinging at that, she's swinging from the line and putting this right down the middle for an ace, and all of a sudden they're within 2. Looking for another big upset. The Cal Poly Mustangs add to it here, 17-16.
You're not getting that ball back. That is an incredible serve from Ferch.
And now switching sides, April and Alix trying to cope with the service. Where do you go? Do you go back down the middle? Maybe to Alix's left. Yes, you go to Alix's left for another winner. That's a turkey for Piper Ferch.
And you know who that looked like? That looked like April stinking Ross. Holy cow, Piper Ferch, way to go.
17 all on the strength of 3 aces. Riding her horse back into this first set. Piper Ferch doing work.
Sending that one the opposite direction. She's got control from the service line.
Well, here's what she did. She went down the middle, but to Alix's left. Then she went to Alix's right. They switch sides. She goes back to Alix's left. Where do you go next, Cameron Irwin? You're at the line. Your name is Piper Ferch. You're on a hot streak. You're looking for more than a turkey. You get a good toss. You're ready to rip it. Where do you go?
Well, it's definitely going back the direction of Alix Klineman. I think best serve, so, and away from her body. It depends on if she's on the left or right side here, dependent. Is Alix going to go back out and stand on the left? I think she might go back the opposite direction.
Okay. Yeah, their match earlier here on Stadium Court, Ferch and Sparks maintained that same aggression that we're seeing now. 4 aces with those 3 in a row to get right back to even. All of a sudden, it's a race to 4.
And this is what I figured. Alix is moving back to the right side right here.
Going down the middle.
Ferch and Sparks on a 6-1 run.
I might attack the sideline.
Okay, back to Alix's right, says Cameron Irwin. We'll see what Piper Ferch does. 3 for 3 in this trip to the line.
Middle.
April stabs it. Dug up. And too tight on the set means you lose.
See, and that would have been my fear. I don't mind the middle serve, but at the same time, then it allows for Alix, or excuse me, for April to get more involved and take some of that pressure off of April.
Off of Alix.
Off of Alix. The A-team, man.
Someone with an A name.
Thanks for the catch.
All right, so Klineman and Ross switch sides. Their lead is 1. They've been working on Lindsey Sparks, the Huntington Beach native. She's on the right side. Top right of your screen. Well, you got to keep those transition sets off the net here. As inside out, same thing. Back set coming. Beautifully laid up. Little reset. Trying to reset twice, and it cannot be done. Alix Klineman dominating the airspace.
Yeah, and that's just the biggest difference maker right there. The Alix Klineman block, really well done. And Lindsey Sparks, to her credit, throws that into the block, recycles it back out. But when you've got that 6'5" block in front of you, it's going to take more than just a couple little small shots around her.
Yeah, it may not go so fast when you're right in front of her. Give your hitter a little more time, up higher, make some decisions, maybe rip a high hands. We'll see how they approach it this time. 19-17, just like that 18 back on top. April's got that one. Alix runs it down as well. Have to convert. There's a ripper. That'll do it, Sparks.
And this is a bit worrisome right now. Alix Klineman stretching out what looks to be her right leg. There's that solid swing from Lindsey Sparks.
So we'll keep an eye on Alix Klineman and that right leg. See if it's a momentary thing or something that lingers. A serve to the back line.
That ball still making the line bounce. Check this thing out. The high, deep floater. You have to have different weapons from the service line. Lindsey Sparks got a few.
Wynn picking up for a second. Good read. No touch. Here comes the transition. No good.
Does she bounce?
No, she pokes it deep for the winner. 20-19. Ferch and Sparks. Set point.
Lindsey Sparks making a huge difference. That dig in the middle of the rally was critical. That late move to the right side, giving an opportunity to have a set point.
Set point. One ace to the back line. Working on April the last couple of times. Where do you go? Back to April. No, right down the middle. Alix Klineman converts, staving off set point number 1. Now you have to side out. Oh, Klineman to serve. Do you go option to your hot hand, Ferch?
They had and had been successful in early in set 1. However, the last few, there have been a few errors in that regard.
Klineman wide left. Second set point opportunity for the number 27 seed, looking to pull off their second upset of this young Manhattan Beach Open. Jump serve's been big. Klineman. Deep. Did it find sand in the side? It did.
Yeah, right now, Alix Klineman knows exactly where her target is, which is over the top of the block of Ferch. I'm curious at one point if they double up Ferch and Sparks defensively, if they're going at Klineman.
Blackjack on the board. Extra time here in the first set. An elimination match. Someone is going home at the end of this one. You'd love to go up 1-0. Bad pass, salvaged. Running April to the back line. Here she comes. Oh, what a grab. Alix scrambles. Cannot get there. Save from Ferch and Sparks.
Are you not entertained? How in the world did Ferch and Sparks get that ball back?
Ferch again, a whole bunch of highlight-worthy plays in this first set. Third opportunity to go up 1-0 on your heroes. Drives April deep. Inside with the dig. To be up 1-0, no. Yes! Youth is served in set 1.
Fighting back, 23-21 in the first.
What a rally from Ferch and Sparks in this first. Incredible performance, and it all turned with what? The service pressure. Those 3 straight aces from Piper Ferch were the biggest difference maker. That is a huge first set win for the duo from Cal Poly.
A turkey for the win. 3 straight aces, all clean, single touch and put away. A 23-21 impressive hold on to the end of that first set.
What's her name? Lemur. What's her name? Lemur and Kelsey.
Second trip to Stadium Court today, and the Wilson play of the day is going to go to Ferch and Sparks. It was this scramble play. Everybody working maximum energy.
I mean, honestly, Piper Ferch took that from underneath the net and still found a way to somehow put the spin on it to get it to go the opposite direction. Love the effort, love her ability to still get those hands over the top of the net and find the block.
And then why not add in the aces?
I love it. 1, 2, 3. Piper Ferch just continues the trek from the service line. And how about this? Lindsey Sparks attacks the high area over April Ross's head. Almost stuns her just a bit there.
I know it's a Wilson play of the day.
You do win. He did not pay attention to what he was doing. Give it up for this young lady, everybody.
Done.
Nice.
Is this athletic food in the middle? I don't know.
You had the chance to block her.
We're eating
and you
Trader Joe's
That's
Takis.
Right.
My goodness.
Massive fail by you, Lemur. That's okay. All right, let's get the bags. Let's get the bags. We've got sunglasses for both y'all.
How about the stats in that first set? Boy,
make sure
you win a lot of statistical categories at Klineman and Ross, but you lose the set.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest differences, obviously, are the digs late in that, and of course, the aces to errors ratio. Alix, Klineman, April Ross, they're just 1 ace to their 4 errors. On the opposite side, Ferch and Sparks, 5 and 3. You have to also look at Ferch and what she's been able to do as a blocker. In regards to her defense, she's come away, I believe, with about 7 or 6 digs of her own, which is a massive number for a blocker.
I like how you did that. You went from high to low. Normally people go from low to high. 7 or 6, not 8. All right, so we're going to set up for set number 2 as the late day sun starts to tip over the Pacific Ocean.
And this is why I did it.
Okay.
Sparks,
here we go.
7 digs,
Sparks
Ferch,
back
6.
To serve.
Very nice. Cameron Irwin. Very nice. Way to follow the numbers.
I got you.
Kevin Barnett alongside Cameron Irwin, taking you through our final women's match of the day on Stadium, as that ball is cut efficiently on play number 1 by April Ross. And the cut to hug, the familiar flow of the A-team.
I like that you just mimicked it here in the booth.
When I make a good comment, I just want you to settle in and give me a little pat. I would like a pat. Yes. All right, Kevin, you got the score right. Good job. Good job.
I'm just imagining the entire stadium watching this booth right now.
What are those goofs doing? Oh, Alix Klineman gets that onto option. So adaptation already from Klineman and Ross to open set 2.
Yeah, and I love that heads-up play from Alix Klineman. She is well prepared, understands the option play could be coming early in this second set. Interesting, too. April Ross serving from the opposite side of the court. Traditionally, she's been serving a little bit more from the middle and the left.
Nice touch and turn collected by April Ross, and they're off to a quick 3-0 opening.
So testing serving from the right side a bit more here. Let's see where she goes with this one.
Now the wind is cutting straight across Stadium Court right now, and that does hit the grandstand, so it's not a huge factor on the sand at the moment. We don't have one of those wind tunnels coming through the corner. We did earlier have a little bit of wind from the south. Here it's due west. A little bit higher set this time, and that'll be off the top of one Alix Klineman. Yard sale.
Found the dome.
Hats, glasses, we have it all available. Some may be in pieces.
I think someone needs to find her some new glasses.
No, they're looking for the arm. It's in her hair. They couldn't find the arm. It was actually still attached to Alix Klineman's head. So a small delay here while we have some assembly going on of the glasses.
It's a heck of a swing, though. Right, so especially that's going to happen if you're thinking about delaying your block, right? Because Sparks has been such a great shooter, if you're just a hair late, those arms spread wide, that's an absolute target right through the middle. I think it caught mostly that top of her bill of her hat, luckily. Hopefully not too much more than that. Seems like she's doing all right.
All right, here we go. Here we go. 1 serving 3 in set 2.
Back to it, jump serve coming, and that is a little bit long. Strong start for the A-team here in the second set. Of course, 53 tournament victories for this pair. They've been in this situation before.
Yeah, and it's all about how do you respond when you've been somewhat punched in the mouth, or in Alix Klineman's case, in the top of the visor, punched in the hat. But I think these two are absolute fighters, right, in every regard to this game. So I'll be curious to see. They're some of the best in terms of making in-game adjustments, and that's where that experience comes in. This is a very kind of unique team on the opposite side in terms of how quick their offense is, what they do in transition. I wouldn't be shocked, though. April Ross can find just about every answer under the sun.
You've seen a couple of changes early on. You talked about the position of the service of April Ross. We also saw the on-2 option get picked up by Alix Klineman and blocked early on. And that has netted a 5-2 lead for the A team headed to side change number 1.
Well, and there's also the other element. When we talk about experience, it's not just about knowing what adjustments you need to make, but it's about being able to execute them, right? And having been in that situation. So for Alix and April, that's the biggest difference. Their ability to execute on those in-game adjustments.
Klineman at the net. Ross goes jump serve. Opportunity lower called, and whoo, that is sharp. Like an expensive piece of cutlery. April Ross cuts you. You cannot cut it much sharper than that, especially wrist away. 6-2. Ross again, jump serving. Working on Sparks. This time a little more middle to the left. No miscommunication. Klineman with a head of steam. Good night now. 7-2.
Klineman continuing to attack that elevated airspace above Piper Ferch's block, just finding those high hands and deep area of the court. And they almost did try to kind of double up there. That's a nice seam attack from Klineman.
Keeps Ross at the line with a 5-point advantage. A little missed toss. Knuckled over. Trying to salvage it. And April Ross does. Keeps the run going.
When was the last time you saw a pokey serve?
How about a pokey serve winner? Where you win the point. Quite often that leads to your demise. 8-2. A 6-point advantage has Ferch and Sparks calling a timeout. You might notice some of the names around the stadium here in Manhattan Beach, a beautiful stadium court that'll be in action through Championship Sunday. And you notice the LA Launch, the New York Nitro, the Miami Mayhem, the Austin Aces. These are the teams that will play the league schedule starting in September and beginning in Los Angeles. Venues and tickets to be announced next week. Your chance to tune in from September to November in person or via your delivery of choice these days.
Where are you most excited to go? What city?
Where am I most excited to go? That's a great question. Maybe Los Angeles. Just stay home.
Already there.
Just excited to stay home. I can't wait for the venues. I'm interested to see, like, when we go to Dallas, where will we be?
Well, you'll know next week.
Been to downtown last few years. It's been a lot of fun. We're going to go to Chicago before that. We're going to find ourselves in Labor Day for the last Heritage event of 2024. This is your schedule to extend the endless summer.
Miami will be really fun, too. When do you not have a good time in Miami?
I don't know that. I've only been to Miami one time. It was for an FIVB event.
Are you serious?
Yep, one time.
Wow. I feel like I've been like 6 times in the last year.
Okay, Pickle Princess. It's cool. It's good for you. All right. Can they come back? So now it's switched to Ferch and Sparks. We were asking what could the A team do coming into this set. Well, they've done it. They've made some adjustments. How about Ferch and Sparks, Cameron Irwin?
It all starts with that first contact. They've had a little bit of issues as they have also switched sides from right to left, but I don't know if that's going to be the biggest difference maker. I think it's about solidifying not only their first contact, but also we saw a little bit of a troublesome set from time to time. So not quite in rhythm offensively like they had been.
All right, keep the ball off the net. The side switch didn't work on the first serve. April Ross stays there. Consistency, putting the ball in with some heat. Bad pass. Pulling Alix Klineman, picks it up and puts it away.
We've always joked that there are angles only Alix can hit, and that remains true at this point in her career. Check this out, just high reach over the top. She's nearly unstoppable.
We've seen other women try and take on the beach game at her similar height. Sarah Pavin, for instance, but the thing that's always made Alix unique, even when she was an outside hitter professionally, she wasn't a middle. Her ability to move and locate and attack the ball as an outside, as what is typically the skill set of a smaller player.
Yeah, and her ability to pass too, right? Like it's one thing to be 6'5". If you can't pass, then you're going to be in some pretty significant trouble. But she has been really solid and really steady in that regard. Apart from, of course, that first set where she had a little bit of an issue. Those were just great serves, though. Sometimes you just got to tip your hat.
April puts it in the coffin corner, 11-3.
Yeah, and this is just business as usual for these two at this point. The efficiency at which they're siding out, it's usually that first ball they're able to get right back to the sand.
Things continue as is. We're going to be looking at our first three-setter on Stadium Court, and it will be a win or go home set. In this Contenders bracket matchup, will the A team end early? Will it be the upstarts? Well, right now it's all A team from the service line doing damage.
Okay, so you look at that and you're thinking, yeah, she's got a jump float serve. So do a lot of other people. But what makes the difference for Alix Klineman is the fact that her contact point on the serve is so much higher. It means that she's starting at a high point and the ball can actually travel downwards from the point of contact. Whereas, say, a 5'10" or a 5'7", anybody under about that mark, the ball has to travel up before it goes down to get over the height of the net.
There are very few people below that mark of 5'7".
That's true.
Kristen Nuss is about it these days.
That's about it.
Ross jump float from this side. Oh. A little Swedish for you.
You gotta have the accent on there too. Check out this set. Not only is it a jumpy jump, it's a side jump set. Come on now. It's pretty slick.
Ross got just enough of that one.
I think it's important for Ferch and Sparks right now. Obviously, the second set has really gotten away from them, but can you build a little bit of momentum? Can you try and find that offensive rhythm that you had in the first here late in this second?
How would you do that?
It's a great question.
That is not how you would do it. They accept another ace serve. It's been a lot of pressure from the line. A 10-point lead now built for the A team.
I mean, I think it's hard to answer your question because oftentimes if you're not an offensive rhythm, you say, okay, let's simplify things. But you can't necessarily just simplify things against the A team, especially when your phenomenal offense throughout the day has been that tempo offense. So I think it's kind of just resetting the brain and going with what has worked. I don't think dropping back in terms of your aggressiveness is the answer against the A team. You won't win against the A team in that regard. They're going to out-consistent you.
Position, tempo. Maybe play with those things. Okay, 15-6 here in set two. Looking like we're headed to a third set. Most assuredly 6 points from now on the Alix and April side.
I think this is a good sign too. Both of them just smiling in the box, staying loose, staying free, knowing that even if they go to this third, they've still got a shot to take down the A team.
I mean, anything can happen in a third set.
It's true.
Same as indoors, anything can happen in a fifth set. You never want to end up in that position if you are the supposed dominant team to allow the upstarts to get after you.
Check this out. There is no place like the Manhattan Beach Open. You get a chance not only to have general admission, come on down and see your stadium court coverage and all of your outer court coverage, but there's no experience like being a fan of the AVP. You can hang out in our VIP section, find those tickets, get yourself some extra food, some extra drink, and watch the world's best right here in the MBO.
AVP 360, one of the options you have. You'll get to listen to DJ Jeremy Rouchet spin the tunes all day long.
We're literally just throwing a 3-day party.
Pretty much.
While you watch volleyball.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
There's a lot of good reasons to be here. Summer is not over yet. In fact, it doesn't end until November.
We literally get to have, we just skip the fall. There is no fall.
There is no fall. We're going to go from summer to Christmas. Well, there's Thanksgiving, but we always forget about that.
It really doesn't get better than this.
All right, 15-6, looking for a little something, Ferch and Sparks. And not giving them anything.
But
all right, Alix Klineman and April Ross.
They are defensively, you can see it. They're starting to kind of shift, and even there, Lindsey Sparks was late to get into that angle. She was almost just waiting and baiting to make that move in. Watch for them to continue to maybe try and move things around defensively.
Bad toss, converted into a good serve.
That edged the outside of the line. Only April Ross.
17-6.
They have completely reversed the momentum from the service line. Have Klineman and Ross. It was the story for Ferch and Sparks in set one. April, good spot. Knuckles short, not quite a winner. Better opportunity here. Left side, check down, put it away.
18-6.
Ferch and Sparks need to be a bit more weary about their second contact. You can't forget you got Alix Klineman in front of you, so maybe a little bit more space on those second two, because they have been having to give a bit of, what, maybe 3 to 5 free balls to the opposite side of the net through this second.
3 away. Set up, nobody up, and that one is long. Alix Klineman lets it go, and they are now 2. Just 2 points away from heading to a third set. Ross, very few misses in this set. Yeah, a little too tight on the pass, but it doesn't matter. Everything going their way, and it is set point. Boy, they're going to hang a 6 on them here in the second. That does not bode well for confidence.
I don't remember the last time I've seen a score like that.
Certainly don't remember seeing it after a team won the first set. Then you get a 6 hung on you in the second. Very interesting to see how the momentum starts through the first 5 points of set number 3. There's some diversity of offense. Maybe a little bit of running around is how they'll begin the next set.
Love it. I absolutely love it. Continue to move that offense around. Give them different looks. Right now, they are just way too much of a rhythm.
Well, you're going to need some control on the service reception. They finally got it there. April's put a lot of pressure, particularly on Sparks. That ball's wide, and we're going to a third.
23-21 in the thirds for Ferch and Sparks. 21-7 in set number 2 for April.
With that, we get our first boat race to 15 coming up next.
Stadium Court.
How about a little magic, huh?
Looking forward to the league. We go through our second Heritage event of 2024. Kevin Barnett alongside Cameron Irwin from Stadium Court, south side of the Manhattan Beach Pier in beautiful Los Angeles. We're enjoying what has been a picture-perfect day and expect it to be much the same over the next couple of days. We get to our championship Sunday. Here we get our first three-setter. Get it on the women's side, an elimination matchup. You have to win this set or you are done. Alix, Klineman, April Ross, an excellent response in the second set to the performance by Ferch and Sparks.
Yeah, and that's through both set 1 and set 2. Alix, Klineman, April Ross hitting 550. Now they've improved that aces to errors. Remember, that was the biggest difference in set number 1. Now they're at 5 and 7. So quite the push from the service line, and really impressed with what their response was in set 2.
Most of the damage done by April Ross with the jump serve. It was crisp, it was in, it was troublesome. And then you add a little bit of Alix Klineman, who was kind of getting one ace or one trouble and then an error. So we'll see if Alix can clean that up, or if it will be the other side with Piper Ferch and her jump serve, which was so effective at the midpoint of set number 1, what eventually became a 23-21 victory for the number 27 seed. And then they went down in fine fashion, 21-7, decisively won in the second set by Klineman and Ross. So we arrive once again at 0-0. That's the beauty of volleyball. No matter how badly you lost or how expertly you won the previous set, you got to do it all again. April Ross to the corner, and then there's a little swat. Ferch, second time, split block, no good.
If you're Ferch and Sparks, you cannot play it safe in this third set. You have to be aggressive from the service line, quick on those first steps when you're going to pass inside out, and also utilize that tempo offense like you had.
So you like that runaround at the end of the second set where they're moving Alix Klineman?
Show her some different looks.
Okay. Well, they got to get out of this rotation first with Alix at the net and April at the line. Yes, they do. First time. That's a good sign. 1-1.
Lindsey Sparks just a little late on her platform. That's why you're kind of starting to see some of those passes pull off the net. She's kind of putting it together in front of her in her midline and then dragging it to the outside of her body. Maybe trying to cut off those angles a little bit more, form that platform behind that serve.
Dueling jump serves, that one short, nearly out of the reach of Klineman. That one is well out of the reach of Sparks.
For someone that's 6'5", Alix Klineman does a really nice job of protecting her feet, which sounds really funny, but she has a great ability to be really flexible and kind of drop down. A lot of serves might be able to drop in front of somebody that's 6'5", but she does a nice job fending those off.
Right into the teeth of the block. Alix Klineman chews on that one.
I love the technique from Klineman. Able to really, instead of dropping down low to create a high block, she goes quick. Watch this move right here. It's a quick drop and release. So she's really able to see what the hitter is doing and move quickly into the angle.
Klineman's been serving that middle, this time a miss. Yeah, a little frustrated she can't get multiple serves strung together. Alix Klineman with something to think about here as we go to our side change at 3-2. Race to 15, win by 2 here in the third.
Feels like it's all A-team right now, but take a look at the score. Ferch and Sparks, it's 2-3. Switching to the other side.
Is some of that feeling, is that a carryover from the score in the second set?
I think it's hard not to be. That's why I'm saying you got to clear the mechanism here. And it's also how your points have come, right? So instead of it actually being earned, it's more of a misserve or an error here. If you're earning your points, that's really where the mentality comes.
Transitioning
the confidence.
and scoring points.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And siding out, right? Those quick side outs.
April's been floating from this side, left side of the court. On 2. Smoothly done, and we stay at 4-3.
Piper Ferch taking some pace off that option attack. She really has been sending those with some force. This one, really nice placement.
A lacer down the middle. That'll do 4-4. service story continues to play out in this match.
And there it is, back-to-back points that are earned on the side of Ferch and Sparks. That's where you're going to feel that momentum. The option play and then the ace.
Looking for a double. Bad toss. Got it over. Delayed block isn't there, and April Ross pushes her team to 5.
The target had been Alix Klineman, right, for that second set and most of this match, to be honest. But now, giving April a look.
Well, that was, I think, a function of the toss. It was a bad toss. She's lucky to even sneak it over the net. Expertly done again on 2, the winner.
Crafty. I love it from Sparks. Takes a quick glance across. Sees April Ross on the left side of the court.
A lightning quick decision by Sparks.
Gets them out of system, there's no doubt about that.
Five. 10 points to go. Somebody goes home. Somebody moves on. What does your night look like if you're Ferch and Sparks? You come up with a victory over the A team to move yourself forward in the MBO Manhattan Beach Open.
I think it's maybe a bit of carb bloating and bed. Get yourself to the next day.
That's right. Hit the Normatec. Hit that recovery. Come on back.
Find yourself some love and salt.
Ooh, that'll be us on Sunday. That ball is long. We're going to give you the full rundown, I think, over the weekend of every place you need to visit in Manhattan Beach. We got you going to the Kettle. We have you going to Love and Salt. El Sombrero was yesterday.
And of course, Shellback.
Yeah. You can have some Fanta shots followed by almost any kind of food you want within 2 blocks. It's all up to you. All you got to do is get yourself to Manhattan Beach and join us. General admission available in the stands, VIP, AVP 360. The options are all yours. All you have to do is take one. 7-6, Klineman Ross. Another chip on 2 is good. That's 3 times in this set.
Hey, if it works, keep going to it. The question will be, is she going to go the opposite direction on the next one? Each time she's challenged April back crossbody.
They give it to April again. That goes right through the split block. Winner, 8-7. We'll switch sides at 15.
Piper Ferch is doing just about everything imaginable up at the net to try and get a hand on some of these attacks and some of these shots. You can see her kind of going up there. You said the split block, and then she's moving those hands around. She's trying to get after that ball. And I think you kind of have to be that type of a blocker if you're 5'10" playing against teams like this, where the level of play is so high above the net. As you see April Ross's numbers, 18 kills, 12 digs, and 3 aces. But you got to be able to pull off and play defense, but also can you give some different looks as a blocker, moving those hands around.
Oh, but a different look there as a blocker. Klineman picks up her second stop of this set.
A different look, but oddly reminiscent.
Cutting into that 600 hitting percentage up to that point for Ferch and Sparks. That'll do it, a lead of 2. And you might wonder, how do you hit 600 and be down? The answer is your opponent is hitting 875, the A team. Nearly unstoppable as that ball is wide right.
Is that the third miss serve in this third set for Alix and April? Or just the second? Second here.
$10 total on the match. That ball's just long. And that will be on the other side, the 7th service error. Service has played such a role in this match. 10-8, Klineman and Ross 5 away from moving on.
Love that arm swing from Lindsey Sparks, a change as she actually kind of throws that right shoulder forward and drops that hand to her right side. Almost a bit of a pushed attack here. Check this out. Shoulder straight on and send it to the right corner.
Short serve. April backs up, back to the net, looks over the high line and takes it. 11-9. They have that ad. They have enough here to side their way out.
I also love the energy I'm seeing from Alix Klineman. She wants to win this match. Every single time they're taking a point, she is connecting back with April Ross and letting her know she's ready to go.
Of course, a hometown affair for Alix Klineman. One-time Miracosta Mustang. That is the local high school here in Manhattan Beach. She started there before going to Stanford and then on to her professional career indoors and then out. The hometown crowd loves when Alix comes up with a W. Ball is too tight. April on top of this one for a 3-point lead. No, not yet. That ball's tight again and dealt with. Beautifully done by Ferch.
I mean, with some of these sets, they're so tight. Ferch is almost having to kind of wait, both Ferch and Sparks, almost having to wait until their feet are back on the sand. Look at the point of contact here. She has already dropped nearly all the way back to the sand, waiting for the block of Alix Klineman to fall along with her.
That was a huge save. You'd be looking up at a 12-9 situation. Instead, it's 11-10. You're right in it with your best server at the line. Ferch looking for some more magic. Goes down in the middle. Klineman. Good little slap over the top.
That's what I'm talking about. You look back at that first contact from Alix Klineman, and she, I swear, is taking that 6 inches above the height of the sand, really dropping that platform underneath and utilizing the topspin coming her direction and being able to scoop that back, giving plenty of time for April Ross to find the set.
12-10. It's been that middle serve from Klineman. Shoot set. Thrown back. Klineman with her third block of the set. Alix taking it away.
I mean, that may not look like the biggest block in the world, but that is such a high-level technique block from Alix Klineman, waiting patiently at the bottom and then so fast to get up, drops that right hand. She is locked in on that ball. She is looking for the shot.
Chip is good. They're hanging on, Ferch and Sparks, but they got to make a move now. 13-11. You need 2. April's going to get a little sand timeout, wipe off the glasses. Where do you serve right now? Who do you serve? Looking at the stats, there's not a lot of options. You have not stopped Alix Klineman in this set. April Ross at 750.
No, and Sparks has been either going middle or kind of that high deep flow to April Ross.
Well, they go to April. April checks down and efficiently puts it away there. 1 off. Here it is. Match point to stay in the tournament. Elimination ball here for Ferch and Sparks. Will come after the side change. April and Alix have a night of momming and then come back. Dads, help out. There's some work to be done here. You're on duty this evening. Match ball number 1. April picks it up. Middle, good. And they hang on. Ferch and Sparks within 2.
Great shot selection from Lindsey Sparks. April Ross gave her a little bit of a juke in the down defense. A step to her right was not confusing whatsoever to Lindsey Sparks, who attacks deep middle.
8-team second match ball. Ferch, a lot of aces in this one. Does she go for it? April blocked and it rolls off the cable out of bounds. Klineman and Ross stay in the Manhattan Beach Open with a 15-12 victory in the third.
A fantastic performance from the A team after dropping that first set. They really came to play in the second, made some big-time switches in terms of their strategy defensively, and they brought the service pressure. That is what propelled them to a win here.
Congratulations to Piper Ferch and Lindsey Sparks on a terrific upset win earlier on Stadium Court. They fought valiantly in this one, taking away that first set, but in the end, the A team just a little too much. That was April and Alix taking the sand early on in an elimination match, and they got everything they could handle from these Mustangs.
They did, and it was a comeback in set number 1 that got Piper Ferch and her partner Lindsey Sparks back on top with a 23-21 win. But I was just so impressed with this young duo and what they put together in this first day of action. Really quite a performance from top to bottom. So fun. Can't wait to see them back on the AVP.
Yeah, good things yet to come from Piper Ferch and Lindsey Sparks. I think they're going to move up their seed for the next event. On the other side, April and Alix will be back tomorrow. Another day of action for the Olympic champions from 2021. So that's it for the women's side of the bracket. And today's Stadium Court action. One more men's match to come. Thanks for being with us here. Manhattan Beach. The Manhattan Beach Open rolls on.